I'm giving somebody the blues today.
Welcome back to the channel, everyone. Today we're going to be talking about something else that Tekken 8 did good today. Tekken 8 has been on a little bit of a hot streak for the past like a week, 2 weeks. They've been doing non-stop great things. I seen a comment on one of my videos saying, why is the game suddenly getting good after Harada leave? And it made me think like, wait, is the game getting good after Harada left? And I had to think about what Harada did before he left. His final act before leaving the company was to replace the development team in charge of Tekken 8. The new development team has went on to do great things. Number one is they are listening when it comes to balance. They released season 3. Players quickly and loudly spoke up about the heat system, and they put out an emergency patch to deal with it. Players also have been talking very loudly about other problems within the game itself, and they created the feedback Discord to address it. We thought the feedback Discord was just a distraction to get the conversation off of Twitter and put it behind closed doors where no one could see it. But then we saw like a week and a half later, real change came from it. Those two things, while they might be kind of small, it's just a huge difference if you talk about what Tekken was doing beforehand, changing the whole perspective of the game and players' outlook on the game in two very good steps. Now, even though this Tifa situation came out of nowhere and it blindsided the whole player base, 3.6 million views, the tweet that I put out got 20,000 likes. This caught a lot of people by surprise, and it also made a lot of people feel a type of way. Very heartbroken that Tekken 8 did not get this, because Tekken players has pushed so hard for it, but then at the same time, people were still celebrating and loving the fact that Street Fighter can at least do something great with the character. If you exclude that one situation, while it is a big one because it has 88,000 posts about it. If you exclude that one situation, Tekken 8 has been flawless since the release of season 3. And this thing that they recently did before the TWT got started, they did it last minute. This is absolutely fire, and they're continuing the trend of doing things that the players have been complaining about. Before we dive into the details of that, one, subscribe to the channel, leave a like, follow me on Twitch, TikTok, and Twitter. The second thing is Bandai Namco put out this statement about something else related to the Tekken World Tour. It says official statement regarding player representing Iraq region at EMEA Tekken Cup finals. You guys can read this whole post if you would like to, but it basically is saying that he cannot make it due to the world conflicts that's going on. They try to, figure out the visas. They try to like make some things work, but with the way that the world is currently, some things are getting worse and worse. It does have an impact on the players who play the game. Hopefully things can get better and the future could be a little bit more brighter, so that way everyone can participate and compete. Because last year, Bandai Namco changed some rules to make the World Tour an actual World Tour. They allowed so many different regions to participate, but you can see some people are still prevented by the things that's going on in their areas. Now, as for the thing that they did just recently, and it is absolutely amazing, they updated the rules. The rules last year for the Tekken World Tour Finals was a huge problem. There was at least 3 people who had major cheating allegations against them. I did videos where I covered those in detail. Some of those people were trying to target the YouTubers who was making videos and get those videos taken down. And they was also trying to silence anyone who was making noise about the things that they may or may not have done. People were putting a lot of pressure on Bandai Namco to change the rules so that people cannot exploit it. Basically what they did, what some of them did, this is allegedly, right? What they allegedly did, they would set up fake tournaments where them and their homies just play a bunch of games, and then they count it as like a massive 90-player tournament, and then they would choose who they want to win, which is the cheater who people have been calling out, and then that person would get a bunch of points. And they would do that a couple of times, enough to where that person becomes the #1 player in their region, and then when it comes time for the regional finals, they get a free ride to compete. It was a bad thing that was exploited for multiple years now, and Bandai Namco is finally putting an end to it. In this tweet, they say, "We updated the rules for 2026. Adjustments have been made to dojo moderation, to the point system and top 8 format, and more. At the last moment, Bandai Namco changed the rules. All the cheaters thought they were going to cheat again the same way. Bandai Namco's changing things." So the part that we want to pay attention to, it says dojo requirements, social media requirements. Tournament organizers must announce their dojo events on social media and post all photos of the event while it's running. Social media accounts must be submitted in the dojo event application on ETP. This is one step into stopping people from cheating, because you would have these tournaments that go on that claims to have 96 people, but then people would travel to that tournament and realize there's only 10 people in the building. So now they're going to have to take a picture of their tournament while it's going, and if it doesn't look like a 90-person tournament, GG's, clap. They're also doing a photo requirement. Photos must be taken on site during the tournament and must be submitted after the event concludes. Photos of the following areas must be submitted: the stream station, where you have all of the stream setups, right? Because if you're going to say you have 96 people at that tournament, we better see setups capable of supporting that many people. You also need to show the pools and the tournament area. And you also need to show the commentator area. That is fire. There is no way out of this one. Events lacking photo submissions, including providing unclear photos or photos without players or commentators, will not be accepted. So if you just try to take a picture of some empty setup, it's not going to be taken. Where's the players at? That is specifically addressing the cheating that took place last time. Great work. And then it also says streaming requirements. Players and commentators' cameras. Streams must show additional camera views that shows the players currently competing and the commentators. Broadcast overlays. The stream overlays used throughout the broadcast must indicate player names and match scores. The example that they give is player 1 versus player 2 and who won how many games. Bandai Namco, they really want this to stop this game from dying, because this is fire. Permanent stream archive for VODs. Tournament event footage must be uploaded to a platform such as YouTube, and a link that does not expire must be provided in order for the dojo event to be approved. Broadcast/VODs that only have gameplay footage will not be approved. I know people who may not be aware of the cheating that took place last year, they may think that this is kind of harsh, because it's like, oh, maybe these guys can't do it. What if they can't do this? What if they can't do that? But I'm telling you guys, this is for the better. Last year, bro, people were doing anything and everything to try and trick the developers and the players. If you asked for a live stream tournament, they would just upload or send an hour of gameplay. And it's like, bro, what is this? We can't see any names. We don't know who's playing. What is this? And then you would ask them to show like a picture of the tournament as it happened. Because you know, when people go to tournaments, they take pictures there with all their friends, all the people they haven't seen since last year and whatnot. None of that. There's nothing to show for it. Nothing. So this is just asking people to give, or it's telling people, you need to have evidence. You need to have it. And we know that streaming is something that could be done, right? We see locals where it's like 20 people, but they still find a way to stream it, commentators and everything. That's all that we're asking, especially if you want to participate in the Tekken World Tour and you don't have the opportunity to win big money. The philosophy, as Bandai Namco Esports says, Tekken World Tour has grown alongside the passion of the FGC. Without the FGC, TWT would not exist. Sustainability of the competitive scene has always been our core mission. We recognize that recent changes to the dojo increase barriers to participation in tournaments organizers. However, restricting communities' activities is not our intention. By improving and evolving the systems, we aim to promote fairness and transparency, and to continue developing the Tekken World Tour together with the FGC. Now, they also have some rule changes, and I think these rule changes will be loved by players like Arslan, etc. Rule changes for Master Plus events. So these are like the big tournaments. Top 8 is now best of 5. The winner of each Master Plus event will qualify directly to the TWT 2026 Global Finals. They also show how many points you will get for winning each tournament or participating in each tournament. This is a great change, and you love to see Bandai Namco do this. We thought that they were just going to allow cheaters to tear up their tournament once more, but no. Bandai Namco, they are actually listening. They're listening.